So the Premier League, unfortunately, we only spent one season in the Premier League, and you were only in the Premier League for one season. Obviously, if a couple of things would have gone our way, we would have stayed up. Very, very unlucky. So what do you take from your time in the Premier League?
Oh, look, I just loved it. I think being in the Premier League is the Hollywood of football. Every game there's a massive media hype going into it. Every time you turned up at the stadium, it just felt like the Premier League. It's the best league in the world. So as a kid, you dream about playing in the Premier League. So when we got there and I got to play in it, it was amazing, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that season I think we were 10 points clear at one point of relegation. And then it just all unfolded. It was, anything that could go wrong did go wrong. And for me, it was the biggest injustice in world football. How a team can play two players that are owned by a third party, which is totally illegal in the Premier League rules, and get away with it. And it was Tevez, one of no doubt one of the best players in the world for a couple of years. And he single-handedly scored virtually every goal for West Ham. Scored the goal at Man United at Old Trafford to keep him up. And you just remember, like, going into the last couple of weeks, it was, Man United had won the league, and then you looked at, the situation. Anton Ferdinand playing Rio for Man United, and watching that game back, watching the highlights and just seeing the lack of effort at the time. I think that they'd probably been out partying all week from Man United, but for us it meant they just needed to not lose to West Ham, and we stay in the Premier League. So, yeah, I remember Webb's dinking the keeper, and it was a wet day and spinning, hitting the post. And he just thought, this is just, it couldn't get any worse. And then Unzi getting a penalty and scoring. It was just, I don't think you could write it. It was just, it was just looking back. But, all of that was irrelevant, because West Ham should have been docked 10 points for me and relegated, because I think Kevin McCabe, who obviously took the injustice to court and won the legal battle, won an amount of money, but no amount of money could have made up for getting relegated from the Premier League. And not only that, we lost players, but going back to the season, Rob Hulse was absolutely fantastic that year. 10 goals, broke his leg at Chelsea, and I remember running up and seeing his leg broken. And from that, we just felt, as players at the time, we just felt he was our top goal scorer. And we ended up going down by one goal and goal difference. And you think, if we'd have had Hulsey again, no way would we have gone down, because he'd have scored another 5 goals, I reckon, that season. We didn't replace him. We struggled to replace him. We didn't really invest in a top striker. And I think if we had done, the one goal would have kept us in the Premier League. Even with the injustice from West Ham. So yeah, everything about it was still leaves a bit of taste in my mouth now. And from that, after that, it was. I never got back there as a player, which was disappointing. I dislocated my shoulder at Aston Villa, missed 4 months, and then sort of came back the following season. And from then on, the club just had a real tough couple of years, and up until now, obviously found himself out of the Premier League.